For some time now, I've been wondering which pro gamer will we bestow the great and legendary honor of being the first player to ever have a repeat performance on this august channel. Well, I'm excited to announce it's a tie, because both of these fan favorites are coming back. We have TLO! But this time, he's going to be facing one of his teammates. He's going up against none other than Taeja! Team Liquid fans rejoice. We're going to be featuring two of their finest. Team Liquid fans despair. Both of these players are going head-to-head in the Group A stage of HomeStory Cup, and that makes it statistically less likely they'll both be able to get out of the group in advance. But let me be perfectly honest, as long as they give me a good game today, I'll be thrilled. And TLO's choice of the standardized immediate expansion gives me hope. We're playing on Disco Bloodbath, by the way. The last time we saw TLO around these parts, he was playing against Future on Acropolis, and boy, that was a bloodbath. But for now, he's just gonna park his first Overlord over the ramps to his natural and his Future third. That's gonna give him great vision over the logical attack pass for Taeja. But I'll tell you something, the next time we get a truly monumental game with a massive body count, like 500, I'm gonna call it the Crimson Zone. More on that if we actually get there. But you know me, if there's an excuse to introduce a new graphic, I'm gonna take it. Terran's initial barracks completes and it's looking like a Reaper expand. He's doing the variation where you send off the SCV to scout. It doesn't get there a heck of a lot earlier than the Reaper, so some players don't love it. But for others, verifying that Zerg isn't doing some kind of early timing is critical. You and I, though, know that TLO has done no such thing. He's gone hatch pool extractor. And that does mean, for the immediate future, Zerg is out mining the Terran. And he's keeping his mineral bank high too, but that's deliberate. TLO's waiting for a spawning pool to complete so he can invest in some queens and maybe some lings. Terran's Reaper is out on the map. Scouting SCV heads up the ramp, he's gonna get a quick peek and he's gonna get out of there. They don't pay him enough to do anything more than make sure that natural is there. Because Zerg is indeed busy. He's got 2 queens, 4 lings, and Zergling speed on the way. But he's got absolutely none of that yet, so if the Reaper hurries, maybe he can get a poke at a drone or two. Nope, those lings pop out just in time. Who am I fooling? TLO's got this timed out exactly. The Reaper commences firing. TLO is rotating his lings so he can keep them alive. Oh, to be a perpetually regenerating Zerg. The 2 queens have gone live. They're gonna chase out that Reaper and make sure they get those initial injects. It's all in a day's work. Taeja drops his Reaper back and puts it on patrol. He's hoping TLO will send out a drone unescorted and he'll be able to pick it off as it goes for the third. TLO's got vision over that spot though, so he should know what kind of game his opponent's trying to play here. We get to witness the great reactor switch. Double Hellions go into production, but also a starport. TLO doesn't look too happy to let that Reaper have such a strategic position. He's got 4 lings and a queen to chase it off. And he's going to try to slip in a drone. He's almost got the money banked up for a third, but Taeja doesn't want to let him use it. And the Reaper is going to give his life, slowing down the Zerg economy for a precious second. He did kill a ling first though, so technically first blood goes to Taeja. Oh, I'm not seriously seeing a fusion core, am I? Oh yes, yes I am. That means we get to see battle cruisers. TLO is researching Overlord speed, so perhaps he will see it first. But first overall, let's see how these Hellions fare. With 2 queens guarding the ramp, they're gonna get zoned out pretty quick. A lone marine attacks that camping Overlord. He's just gonna escape out of his vision, but every little bit of damage helps. TLO is likely to want to use that Overlord as a scout once he gets his speed researched, aka pneumatized carapace. You didn't think I could say that, did ya? So Taeja's Hellions get to evaluate the maturation on the third, but what they're not seeing is a Baneling nest going up at the natural. In any event, his scouting report has given him the confidence to go ahead with his battlecruiser. It's in production. TLO's high-speed Overlord is going to check for exactly that. He's gonna buzz the Terran tech line. Tech lab, fusion core. I'll take battlecruisers for 500, Alex. What is I need queens and spores? He's actually only making 1 spore, but he is adding another queen to bring his total to 6. Meanwhile, Taeja's kept all 4 of his Hellions alive. He's now looking to see if he can get something done with them. I mean, he's got to do something with his APM while he waits for that Yamato cannon he just started researching to finish. Those reconsidered. He's increasing the spore count to 3. Or maybe he just finally got the money to do it. He's also going to convert the hatch at his natural into a lair. Oh, Queen's out of position at the 3rd. Hellions deke in. They snag a single drone, but are looking to see if they can sneak back in for more. 2 Queens are going to close that door off. I think that drone kill was just a lucky bonus. I think Taeja's really trying to lure those Queens out of position for that battlecruiser that's about to complete. She's almost here. Isn't she a thing of beauty? 0 to 60 parsecs in under 2 seconds. There's the hyperjump! The Overlord's like, there's something red and glowy at the south here, and it's shooting me in the head! Dude, where else do you expect it to shoot you? You're literally a giant floating head! TLO's spore has finished, and it is in good position to protect that mineral line. Pounding nascent Evo chambers is not going to get him a return on his investment. Oh, but if he draws the attention of enough Queens, maybe his Hellions will. TLO's got all 7 of his Queens looking to trap that battlecruiser. That thing's a huge bag of hit points, but that's a lot of firepower. He's down to half, but putting some distance behind him. Will this give the Hellions a window? There's only 4 of them. Scratch that, he's got 6 more coming to reinforce. Suddenly this has serious barbecue potential. Get out your steak sauce! Seriously, your oven mitts and tongs! 3 drone kills on the opening salvo. Queen and Lings are there to defend, but the kill count goes to 7. TLO's cavalry Queens arrive and transfuse the original. They stop the bleeding, but all 10 of those Hellions survived. Taeja grabs himself his first supply lead of the game, and he may not be done here. It looks like he's going to try to use his huge numbers to bully his way up the ramp to the natural. This barbecue could have Napoleon potential. TLO's Lings and Queens defend from all sides. The Lings lock the Hellions in place for 6 slow Banelings. There's blinding caustic corrosion. And this time the trade is much more efficient for Zerg. Only 2 drones are lost, and the Hellion force is wiped out. But the battlecruiser did snag a Queen and a couple more drones. So Taeja's push-pull harassment isn't looking so bad. And since it looks like he's going to manage to keep that battlecruiser alive, he's going to be able to reinforce it with the one he built behind all this. TLO looking for the Ling run-by, but there's a tank and Hellions to repel. It looks like Taeja surprised TLO with the supply depot wall-off he had on his left flank. And so now I'm kind of wishing I didn't hype the whole Crimson Zone thing. The kill total's at 60, so I don't think a body count of 500 is too realistic. But you can still have a good and exciting strategic game with a low body count, right? Yeah, maybe. Sometimes. I mean, for all the chaos, our players are pretty even here. I think Terran's got a slight edge at the moment. More if he gets another barbecue! Oh! There was no drone pull! Taeja slips in like a ninja! He's up to 8 kills, 9! And he forces TLO to expend some Banelings to get rid of him. He's also going to spot the Lurker Den in the infestation pit. And just like that, Taeja's got himself a lead on workers and army. The little one knows he needs to do something to close that gap right away. He sends over a pack of Lings to harry the north, but there's nothing there. Oh, he's gonna morph Ventral Sacs. We're looking at Drop Lords with a single Baneling. That's kind of weird. He's either got something very specific he wants to try, or he just didn't have the resources when his fingers hit the keyboard. Taeja's looking to see if he can tilt the game in his favor yet again with another Hellion run by, but TLO's creep is getting pushed out. He's gonna have the vision to see that coming now. Taeja, on the other hand, might not see this Ling drop. It's on the way! Lings are like cats. They always land on their feet. Taeja's got no defenses, but he's got a complete production line of factories right there. They conveniently start spitting out Hellions and tanks. TLO's gonna pick his Lings back up and save them. Near as I can tell, he never actually dropped the Baneling. Uh-oh. Roger, Red Leader. This is Big Baby 1 and 2. We're preparing to set an intercept course for those Drop Lords. Solid defense by TLO. He only loses a single drone. Ooh, but he's about to lose a whole bunch more. Yamato cannons! Overlord, meet overkill. Oh, that actually supply blocked TLO. But he's already got 7 Overlords halfway to spawn, so it shouldn't last very long. In the meantime, he's going to have to hope his 12 Hydras are enough to deal with these battlecruisers, because he won't have any more for a while. He does have his first 2 Lurkers out, though. He's got them burrowed at his 3rd for the next time those Hellions come in. That's not going to help with the battlecruiser, though, so he's got his Hydras rushing over to intercept. Holy moly, Taeja's tank count hit 10, and he's going to push out with it. Once again, the battlecruisers are like the fake threat. Nope, I'm wrong. He's not trying to pull his opponent in 2 directions. Taeja's looking to link up his forces. And that combined arms army is going to be so scary. I don't know if TLO can hold this. He has made a couple of Vipers, and he's trying to get lurker range. But those Hellions are now marching Hellbats, and he's got 14 of them to go with his 11 tanks. This is just a monstrous mech push. The forces are going to meet in the middle of the field. Hold on to your hats. This is going to be huge. The Banelings roll out to hit the Hellbats, but the tanks are sieged. Taeja's using the destructible debris for cover. He's got great position on the extractor. Hydras pull back and draw some Hellions into the lurker spines. Viper abducts a battle cruiser. Taeja says, fine, have 2 more. They're both reinforcing so fast for the moment their supplies are holding, but TLO's bank is gone. Viper abducts another battlecruiser. It's not going to actually get away, is it? The Hydras have to come forward to finish the kill. They run into the tank fire. TLO desperately hatching more Hydras. The wealthy Taeja going for Thors and battlecruisers. A third abduct. TLO stops the Yamato cannon shot. And for the first time, Taeja is sans battlecruiser. Oh yeah, this fight's getting so awesome it requires some French. Ooh, TLO forced to sacrifice units. He needs to dislodge that tank hitting his hatch. He gets it, but has to eat a ton of tank fire. And for his reward, the first Thor arrives on the battlefield. TLO transfusing that hatch like a madman while his Vipers simultaneously consume it. It's the Zerg circle of life, people. Embrace it. Remember who you are, Lurker Kings. Remember who you are. We're tank shrapnel, man. Let's get out of here. TLO's actually adding Lings in. I think he's gonna try. He's going for the tanks. Blinding clouds go down on 4 tanks. The Hydras are behind this. And he's abducting the tanks in the back. Is Zerg actually gonna dislodge the Terran? No, Taeja's lines are just too deep. He just keeps reinforcing with more and more mech. No, the Hydras have broken through. The lurkers have position. Taeja is forced back to the ramp. An Overseer flies up to Grant Vision. For the few desperate seconds before the Thors obliterate it, TLO's lost a ton of mining time. He's got his drones back to mining, but Taeja's effectively been up a base this entire time. And he's Maynarding to a 5th. Despite his incredible effort in this battle, he might still be losing the war here. I can't believe Zerg held. Terran must have lost a zillion minerals worth of units. Let me check. Oh, we're 257. The combined body count is halfway to the Crimson Zone. TLO's gonna grab a 5th and go even on bases. Taeja's gonna rebuild his massive mech army, but he's not gonna give TLO a chance to rest. He's gone back into unending harassment mode. Taeja's just one of those Terrans that when he fights Zerg, he never takes his foot off the pedal. Oh my god, is that battlecruiser actually gonna get away? How do you survive an abduct into a pack of Hydras? A 550 hit point battlecruiser drops to 21 hit points and survives. The abduct was actually a negative effect. By pulling him back, the battlecruiser actually got an extra kill. Meanwhile, Taeja's Hellbats managed to pick off that 5th. And now he's got another run by! Oh, a blue flame barbecue! Oh, this is expensive steak. TLO was already down on drones. He can't afford this. Oh man, sometimes a game of Starcraft is as unfair as real life. Somehow, TLO defends that base from a 200 supply mech army, and then it falls to like 4 Hellions in a run-by. TLO knows he can't just keep taking these hits forever. He's got to find some offense. Blowing up his barracks is a start, but he's got to hit Terran either in the money or in the production lines. Taeja's just got too much of both. It lets him rebuild his army over and over. Oh, case in point, look at this. Taeja loses his barracks, so he's gonna build 3 of them. He might not just be showing off and going for redundancy. He might actually be contemplating a bio switch. Oh boy, time's up. Taeja's near max and moving out. That's 10 tanks, 17 Hellions, 3 Thors, and a battlecruiser in a pear tree. Yep, we got your festive Starcraft covered right here. Seriously though, it was a near miracle that TLO survived this the first time. Asking him to do it again is crazy. The mech death ball is reaching the 4th and is setting up shop. Tanks are sieging up in a zigzag pattern. TLO pulls back. Hellions and Thors advance. They're in spitting range of the hatch. Zerg continues to backpedal. Taeja's maxed. If he can just trade out armies, he can win this game. Zerg has to win this fight and be hyper efficient. Viper abducts might be one way to do it. The lurkers are going to work, but that hatch is going down. Oh, the inhumanity. Taeja's got the energy to continuously scan those lurkers. Zerg flees for the high ground. There's no base left to save. Once again, TLO was hyper efficient. He's actually got technically the bigger army at the moment, but Taeja's got a huge bank with production lines. TLO swinging his army around the map. He's looking to see if he can actually take the fight to Taeja. Taeja's mech's got those 3-3 upgrades. Terran's like, anytime, any place. TLO's like, may I actually take you up on that? Because I'd like to fight in your production lines. Taeja's like, sure, they're right next to the planetary fortress. The little one keeps driving for the Terran heart, but there's siege tanks and Thors there. Terran's pulling in almost double the gas of Zerg, and he tactical jumps his battlecruiser back to defend. The Zerg offensive is just getting scattered as he runs everywhere trying to clean up Terran units. The effort is valiant. He's gained control of the map in front of Taeja's base, but Taeja's pulling back his forces to crush him in a vice. I think we're witnessing the extinction of the Zerg counter-offensive. If you are planning on participating in the Adopt a Lurker program, I'm afraid you're too late. The body count, though, has crossed the 400 mark. We're getting close to the Crimson Zone. Oh, the Zerg's got a follow-up strike in him. Oh, the forecast calls for blinding clouds. 4 Vipers cover the field in a haze of green. Taeja's got to fall back, and those slower Thors are going to fall prey to the Abducts. Micro that cool would be a TSN turning point if only more Thors weren't popping out of the factories at an equal speed. Once that Viper energy's exhausted, there's not much left of the Zerg army. Taeja's like a 1%er here. He's got all the money in the world, but he still wants more. But the win for this game is just not for sale. TLO is not throwing in the towel. Taeja's like, what do I gotta do to put this guy away? I've barbecued his drones, I've got him beat on supply, I'm ahead on upgrades, but he just won't die. TLO's even thinking about rebuilding that 4th. If Zerg can actually come back into this, wow. Taeja's upgrading his bio. He's got 3 Marines on the field. I guess he's just kind of run out of ways to make his mech any more awesome. TLO is sticking with Hydras and Lurkers. Oh, he's gonna take a stab at trying to shut down Taeja's base to the north. There's nothing there. He can get it. Taeja lifts off, but the Hydras don't care. 'Cause it's true what they say. There ain't no exploding command center like a floating exploding command center. Rather than defend, Taeja's gonna attack. He's guessing if TLO's out on the attack, he doesn't have enough back at home to defend. That, and he's got like 5 Marines now, so clearly things are different this time. The Lurkers and Hydras are gonna rescue that hatch. But Taeja's like, I don't really want the hatch. I'm just trying to flush out your army so I can crush it. Here come the continuous scans on the Lurkers. Oh, look at that! An Abduct and a blinding cloud. Holy smokes, there's more hooks than a vaudeville show. Oh, we're gonna have to revisit this for a micro moment. TLO's APM went above 2,000. Taeja's dropped to 200 because he was like too busy watching that. Oh, there is just blood everywhere on the disco floor. Not enough for the Crimson Zone, but thanks to TLO refusing to say GG, we're getting there. In fact, I think we need to get the counter up to see if we're close enough to count down. Taking a quick look, it looks like we are 36 shy. I know I'm gonna sound like a total psychopath when I say this, but can we get just 36 digital gladiators to give up their lives for my entertainment? Taeja's investment into Marines might help. Those guys like to die. Taeja's either decided he can't close this out with mech alone, or he just really needs a way to spend his money faster. Oh, TLO going for a high-speed counteroffensive. He needs this to work so bad. He's only got 3 SCV kills the entire game so far. Oh, who are we kidding? I just need 17 more kills to get to the Crimson Zone. Entertain me, you digital gladiators. Just 12 more. Just 10 more. That's it right there. We've crossed into the Crimson Zone. Yes. Taeja's got his mech force coming all the way from the far west to try to clean this up. That's a lot of Thors. TLO trying to use the high ground to keep himself in this. Taeja brings medevacs over to negate the advantage. Taeja is just reinforcing his army with bio. He's even building a ghost academy. The Thors clean it up and Taeja is just going to move one of his 2 backup command centers into the mineral position. Whoa, now that is what you call a mule drop. Taeja's lost 23 SCVs, but he's building them 10 at a time. We always talk about the might of late game Zerg. Behold! The might of late-game Terran. Taeja's looking to counterpunch, but he's going to have to go up a wall of Lurkers. Zerg drops blinding clouds on the Thors once again. Those mech pilots have got to be getting so frustrated. Could somebody, like, install a fan? Or perhaps we could fight on a planet with a slight breeze, maybe? Somehow, TLO is holding that ramp. Oh, here comes the biotransition, though, with a ton of medevacs and scans. The Marines die, but their DPS takes everything with them. GG! What a game! TLO sees the transition and he taps out. Okay, Just a few thoughts on that game, and then we can all get back to Crossy Road and watching The Mandalorian. If you followed my channel, you probably noticed I'm struggling to understand the new TVZ late game. The pros have abandoned Broodlord Infestor in favor of Hydra Lurker Viper. The Spire is gone. The reason, of course, is the post-BlizzCon patch has gotten everybody back to experimenting, and that's a good thing. Right now, it looks like range is king. The Broodlord leash dropped from 12 to 9, and Infestors lost infested Terrans. They don't even have uninfested Terrans, or even Terran hipsters, but also the Infestor's neural parasite dropped from 9 to 8. Meanwhile, if you get the new Lurker upgrade, the range increases from 8 to 10. It was actually 9 before the upgrade option, so a net gain of just 1. But I've seen so many games now where this has fallen flat that my view was this whole Lurker Viper thing was just a phase. Lurker Viper won't last. It's like when you were a teenager and suddenly decided to go goth. You wore black for 4 months and refused to smile ever. But then one morning you woke up and grew out of it all of a sudden. This is like that. Or maybe it's a trend like Forge First builds or Faux Hawk. Whatever happened to the Faux Hawk? As an aside, anybody else ready to get back to the real Mohawk? Now that's a trend or style I could get behind reviving. Anyways, my point is I'm just not entirely on board with Lurker Viper yet. That was until this game. Dag nabbit, TLO came close to convincing me this could actually work. Just look at what he's done here. We're talking flying fingers as he pulls off abducts right at their max 9 range, followed by slapping down blinding clouds. That's almost overkill. You're pulling units in close to your army, so the abducted units actually fall into melee range and can actually fire, even while under blinding cloud. But wow, is that a cool execution? My point is, this is deserving of a certified micro moment. It's like, it needs to come with a warning though. Kids, don't try this at home. I could never pull this off in a million years. Nice job, Dario. Holy jumpin' jack flash, I just realized we've got a Crimson Zone game which also qualifies for a micro moment. And that reminds me, I wanted to tell you guys, my long-range plan here is to start up a playlist that consists solely of Crimson Zone games. That way, junkies like me who like long back-and-forth contests can find a place where they live, and live in harmony. And for the rest of you, we'll have a steady diet of regular games too, so we can try and stay on top of this ever-evolving scene. I mean, I enjoy a nice speedy beatdown as much as the next guy. I could go on about this all day, but we've got some other games we need to give love to. So let me just say, live life, because nobody wants to die in hold position.
To continue your Starcraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Of course, you could always season upgrade and subscribe to Zugzang Starcraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.